The city never slept, but Ethan did. Every night at exactly 11:47 p.m., he'd close his laptop, turn off the lights in his tiny Brooklyn apartment, and stare out the window at the same corner cafe across the street. That's where he first met Lila. It was a cold December morning, the kind that makes the whole city smell like coffee and rain. Ethan had spilled his drink on her sketchbook by accident. She looked up, ready to be angry, but then she smiled instead. "It's okay," she said softly. "At least now my art smells like caramel latte." That moment and that smile changed everything. They started meeting every morning at that cafe. He was a software designer who hated small talk. She was an artist who talked like every word she said was a piece of poetry. She'd draw cityscapes, old buildings, bridges, people passing by. And he'd sit across from her, pretending to read, but mostly watching her. New York was loud, but somehow when she laughed, it felt quiet. Weeks turned into months. They explored every corner of the city, from Central Park to the dimly lit jazz bars downtown. She'd dance in the middle of crosswalks when it rained, and he'd pull her close just to keep her from slipping. One night, standing under the Brooklyn Bridge lights, she whispered, "You know, I think some souls just find each other again, no matter how lost they get." He didn't say anything, he just kissed her, slow, careful, like time had stopped. Then came the news. Lila had cancer. It was already late, too late for easy hope. Ethan didn't know what to say, so he stayed silent, but he never left. He held her when she was too weak to paint. He read her favorite books aloud, even when she couldn't stay awake. And every evening, he'd take her to the roof just to watch the sunset, her favorite part of the day. One night, when the city lights blurred behind tears, she whispered, "If something ever happens to me, promise you'll still come to our cafe. Promise you'll still write something, even if it hurts." He nodded, but he couldn't say the words goodbye. 3 months later, she was gone. The cafe felt empty. Every table reminded him of her, but he kept going back. He'd order 2 coffees, one for him, one for her, and just sit there watching the city go by. Then one day, the barista handed him an envelope. "Lila asked me to give you this," she said. Inside was a small drawing of him sitting alone in the cafe with a note at the bottom. "When you miss me, don't look for me in old photos. Look for me in the things I loved. The rain, the art, the noise of this city. I'll always be here, just softer." Years passed. Ethan published a book, The Last Letter in New York. It became a quiet hit, not for its fame, but for the way it made people feel. Every page began with something she once said. Every chapter ended with a memory of her laughter. And every night he'd still look out that same window, at that same cafe.